Our first fight of UFC 266 is Jessica Andrade versus Cynthia Calvillo. Andrade, nickname Bate Estaca, which roughly translates to muscle hamster in Portuguese. She's coming in at 21-9, former strawweight champion of the world. She's coming in at the flyweight division at 125, coming at 5'1" with a 62-inch reach. And her opponent is Cynthia Calvillo, who, as we said, also in the flyweight division, coming at 5'4" with a 64-inch reach. So a little bit of height and reach advantage there for Cynthia. Zach, I got some pretty strong thoughts on this, but I'll let you get into it first.
No, I agree, man. I have some very strong thoughts on this one, and I'm riding the fence on whether or not to call this one a big balls in Cowtown, solely because I haven't done my earnest share of homework on Cynthia Calvillo, but I don't think it's really necessary here, if we're being honest with each other. Jessica Andrade has only lost to the best of the best in, I think, either division she's fought at. I think she was in strawweight for a little while, and now she's up to the flyweight at 25. But look at her record, man. She's only lost to Shevchenko, Rose. She beat Rose once, actually. Wiley Zhang, Joanna, and Raquel Pennington in the past since 2015. I just don't know how you can argue with that when she's beating girls like Rose. She beat her the first time. Tisha Torres, Angela Hill, JoJo Calderwood, Caitlin Chikugian. I just think this girl is getting better every time she fights. She's so strong and physically controlling in the cage. And usually I'm hesitant to call for a finish in a female mixed martial arts fight, especially at those at the lower weight class, and especially those not involving Shevchenko or Amanda Nunes. But, man, I think she's going to get the finish here. I think it's going to be over very quickly, and I think it's going to be a dominant victory for Jessica Andrade.
All right, folks, I'm going to take you to a picture real quick. This is Jessica Andrade right here. No, that's not a 12-year-old boy that's all jacked up on hormones, i.e. steroids. But it's pretty close. That's pretty close. She's going to dominate Cynthia Calvillo. I was so impressed with Jessica Andrade's, prior record and who she's beaten, who she's lost to. But Cynthia Calvillo, so unimpressive. I watched her fight against Jessica I, and she just kind of took her down. It wasn't menacing. It wasn't intimidating. It wasn't dominant. She doesn't have good takedowns, really. I mean, they're all right, but they ain't great. She's not going to be able to take down Andrade. Andrade is just built like a brick shithouse. And her boxing looked subpar. It didn't look like the opposite of crisp. It looked like stale. I don't fucking know. But, it's Jessica Andrade all day here, folks, at the Calf Kick Experience. Fuck Cynthia Calvillo.
It's not even about fuck her, man. It's just like there's nothing that I see, like you said, that's intimidating or something that I would need to watch for in this fight, especially because her main tactic is to use the wrestling lay and pray, almost Derek Brunson style. But I mean, Andrade is beating wrestlers. She beat Chikagian, who's one of the better wrestlers in that division. She's beating girls that are supposed to get her on the ground. And the only person that was able to get her on the ground and keep her there was the champ. So I don't have a hard time seeing her just absolutely run through Cynthia Calvillo, just like you said.
Cynthia Calvillo is going to get picked up and slammed on her head. Mark my words.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into the odds. That was fairly quick. I'm sure there are a bunch of people out there with the same sentiment as us on that fight. All right.
There's just no reason to waste these people's time, man. We know what's going to happen here. Why play devil's advocate for a stupid fight that Calvillo's not going to win?
No shot. Jessica Andrade is coming in as a heavy favorite at minus 240, and Cynthia Calvillo is coming out plus 225. Underdog here. Anything piquing your interest, Zach?
I mean, not really. And this is my first time taking a look at the odds for this card as a whole.
Andrade by TKO is not bad. I mean, I would take that. I don't think this is going to decision.
No, I
Unless
agree.
Calvillo is just, super tough. But Andrade, I think she's just going to ragdoll her.
No, I agree, man. And all of the money line odds for this main card are pretty different. They're pretty high. We're seeing a lot of pretty high favorites predicted in this card. So if you want to make money, it's probably going to have to be in the props unless we throw together some parlays and match some fights together, which is obviously a possibility. But I agree with Gage, man. I think Vegas sees this fight going to decision. The calf kick experience does not. I think Andrade by TKO at plus 250 is an incredible odds for that bet. And then even looking at the rounds, under 2.5 rounds at plus 125 will probably get you paid. If you're feeling ballsy, like I'm known to do, under 1.5 rounds at plus 200 might play. But other than that,
I think Andrade inside distance plus 170. Pair that up with Andrade by TKO.
No, I agree. I'm not seeing any high level submission attempts out of either of these people. If it's going to be a submission, it's going to be with something pretty simple like a rear naked, perhaps an arm bar. But I don't see that being the way the fight goes. I don't see Andrade going out there and trying to get a technical victory. I see her imposing her will and leaving particularly dominantly.
No, I mean, if you watch any of her fights, it's scorched earth approach, right? She's going balls to the wall all the time, trying to get a finish, trying to inflict the most damage possible. She is a menace in the octagon, even when she loses, dude. I mean, it's the most crazy thing you've seen. But
I mean, if anything, looking at her last performance against Valentina Shevchenko, it has nothing to do with Andrade's level of skill because she's a good fucking fighter. But it just is a testament to how good Valentina Shevchenko is. And we'll talk about her later, but I think Jessica Andrade is going to return to that dominant form again.
I agree with you. All right.